In the data-drenched world of Formula One, feedback is the currency of speed. A constant dialogue between driver and engineer. But something different is happening inside the hallowed walls of Maranello. Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion in his maiden season with Scuderia Ferrari, is not just talking. He's writing. News has emerged that Hamilton has been authoring and submitting formal documents to the team's highest echelons. This is not a casual post-race chat. This is a deliberate, documented, and strategic campaign by one of the sport's greatest to fundamentally reshape its most famous team. This is a story born of necessity. Faced with a difficult, capricious car, a team in the throes of a 17-year championship drought, and the undeniable reality of his own ticking clock, Hamilton is refusing to be a passive participant in his quest for a record-breaking 8th world title. He is leveraging his unparalleled experience, his global stature, and a direct mandate from the very top of the Ferrari empire to become the architect of his own destiny. These documents are his blueprint for a revolution. A story of leadership, culture, and the complex fusion of a modern champion's methodology with a team steeped in a century of motorsport history. This is an analysis of the Hamilton Files. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome to Front Lockout. Chapter 1. The Dossier. Lewis Hamilton's intervention at Ferrari is a multi-pronged assault on mediocrity. His formal documents, submitted throughout the 2025 season, represent a holistic strategy, targeting not just the machine he pilots, but the very organization that builds it. First, the critique of the machine. Hamilton's first half season in red has been a struggle. 0 podiums, a car he has described as having a tough balance, one that is not a comfortable one to drive. At times, it's even been labeled undrivable. His dossiers contain a precise diagnosis of the car's current issues, with specific concerns around engine braking and the brakes themselves, a crucial area given his switch from the equipment he used for years at Mercedes to the Brembo material supplied by Ferrari. But his focus is not on fixing the present, it's on architecting the future. The massive 2026 regulation change is a clean slate, and Hamilton is determined to embed his philosophy into the DNA of Ferrari's next-generation car. He has held dedicated meetings with the head of car development, Loic Serra, and other department heads to discuss everything from the engine to the front and rear suspension. His stated goal is to ensure the 2026 car has some of my DNA in it. This is not about minor setup tweaks. This is about influencing core design philosophy. Hamilton's legendary driving style is built on his extraordinary ability to brake late and hard, loading the front tires to achieve a sharp early rotation. The current generation of cars, with their stiff suspensions, have neutralized this technique. His focus on the 2026 suspension is a strategic push to design a car that his unique skill set can exploit to its fullest potential. He is providing a blueprint for a car that is faster for him. Second, the blueprint for the organization. This is the most audacious part of Hamilton's campaign. He is extending his critique beyond the car and into the very structure of the Maranello organization. He describes Ferrari as a huge organization where not all of the cylinders need to be firing. He directly links this to the team's long championship drought. His documents call for structural adjustments. He sees it as his job to challenge absolutely every area, particularly the guys at the top who are making the decisions. In this, Hamilton is acting as an internal management consultant. Having spent his career at the championship-winning machines of McLaren and Mercedes, he possesses a unique external benchmark. His teammate, Charles Leclerc, while immensely talented, has only ever known the Ferrari system. Hamilton is attempting to transfer not just driving skill, but winning organizational DNA, diagnosing and treating potential weaknesses in Ferrari's processes, communication, and decision-making. Chapter 2. The Refuse to Fail Mandate. Hamilton's aggressive, documented approach is driven by a clear and powerful personal mandate. He refuses to fail where other champions have. He has explicitly and repeatedly referenced the fate of his predecessors, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian. Between them, they spent 11 seasons at Ferrari securing many wins, but ultimately failing to win a championship. Hamilton is acutely aware of this history, stating with stark clarity, "I refuse for that to be the case with me." This is a masterful political move. By invoking the ghosts of champions past, he reframes his demands. They are no longer the preferences of a new driver. They are essential medicine to cure a long-standing institutional illness. He is aligning his personal ambition for an 8th title with the team's desperate need to end a championship drought that has haunted them for nearly 2 decades. And crucially, this campaign appears to be sanctioned from the very top. Hamilton has revealed he has held several meetings with Ferrari's most powerful figures. Chairman John Elkann, CEO Benedetto Vigna, and team principal Fred Vasseur. A driver does not simply call meetings with the chairman and CEO of a global automotive giant unless that line of communication has been explicitly opened. This strongly suggests that Hamilton's arrival was part of a top-down strategic plan, likely originating with John Elkann himself. He was hired not just as a driver, but as a strategic asset, a carrier of the winning culture from Mercedes, tasked with breaking the institutional inertia at Maranello. He is not a rogue agent, he is executing a mandate for change given to him by the boardroom. Chapter 3. The Intrigue of the Prancing Horse. Hamilton's assertive strategy has inevitably created ripples. His methodical, document-driven approach is emblematic of the highly structured environments of McLaren and Mercedes. It's a direct contrast to Ferrari's traditional culture, which is often characterized by immense passion, but also a susceptibility to political infighting. Pundits and experts have largely hailed his intervention as a massive positive. Sky Sports F1 presenter Simon Lazenby reported that Ferrari's senior performance engineer, Jock Clear, who worked with Hamilton at Mercedes, is likely shouting from the rooftops for the team to listen to what Lewis has to say. They see his 7 world championships as granting him a vision that Ferrari must embrace. At its core, Hamilton is attempting to introduce a culture of empirical, process-driven improvement into an organization that can be swayed by emotion. The act of writing a formal document creates accountability, a paper trail. It's a classic Anglo-Saxon business practice being inserted into a Latin corporate culture. This creates a fascinating dynamic with his teammate, Charles Leclerc. Publicly, the two are united. Leclerc insists they are on the same page and that preparing documents is nothing new. However, the underlying tension is unavoidable. Leclerc is the homegrown talent, Ferrari's prince. Hamilton is the decorated outsider brought in to win the prize that has eluded the team under Leclerc's tenure. Hamilton's stated goal to put his DNA in the 2026 car is a direct challenge to a machine that has been developed around Leclerc's input. While both want a faster car, their paths to achieving it, based on their contrasting driving styles, may differ. The true test of their harmony will come when a pivotal development decision has to be made that inherently favors one driver's philosophy over the other. Chapter 4. Echoes of History. Hamilton's actions, while modern in their execution, place him in a long lineage of drivers who have acted as architects of their team's success. The ultimate benchmark at Ferrari is, of course, Michael Schumacher. When Schumacher arrived in 1996, he joined a team in a competitive slump. His impact was total. He was a leader, a technical visionary, and, crucially, the catalyst for building a new dream team, attracting key figures like Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne to join him from Benetton. Hamilton can be seen as his spiritual successor, but he is using the tools of a different era. He doesn't have his own Brawn or Byrne to bring with him. Instead, he is attempting to reform the existing structure, using his experience and his formal documents as his primary instruments of influence. He is also operating in the era of the cost cap and severely restricted testing. Where Schumacher could test relentlessly, Hamilton's influence must be more strategic, more surgical, focused on getting the big philosophical decisions right from the very beginning. He is adapting the driver as architect model for the 21st century. Chapter 5. The Verdict on the Gamble. Lewis Hamilton's big push at Ferrari is a high-stakes gamble born of necessity. At 40 years old, he does not have the luxury of time. He needs to accelerate the process of change, and these dossiers are his primary tool. This places Ferrari at a crossroads. The first path is one of renaissance. His leadership breaks through the cultural barriers, his technical direction for 2026 proves prescient, and he leads the Scuderia back to championship glory, securing his 8th title and cementing his legacy as a true team builder. The second path is one of stalemate. The deep-rooted culture at Maranello resists. The technical direction becomes a tug-of-war between him and Leclerc, and his tenure ends as another story of a great champion who fell short in red, repeating the very history he is so determined to avoid. The success of this gamble hinges on Ferrari's willingness to embrace a new way of working. Initial signs are promising. The team has been described as incredibly responsive. But the true test will come in the crucible of a championship fight, when immense pressure can cause old habits to reappear. Ultimately, the story of the Hamilton dossiers is about more than just car setup. It's the story of a champion's final most ambitious act, an attempt not just to win but to rebuild. Whether he succeeds or fails, he is providing a fascinating case study in modern leadership and cultural change. He is attempting to prove that in the most complex sport on earth, the vision, Will and knowledge of one individual can still be the decisive factor. His time at Ferrari will be defined not by the trophies he may or may not win, but by the ultimate success or failure of the blueprint he is now so painstakingly authoring. Leave us your comments. This is Front Lockout.